So, as I was just recounting, June 15th, I watched some people get evicted right here downtown. But the problem is, I had watched an eviction earlier in the year, and it was disgusting. They were throwing out these items, and the way they had coded the whole undercurrent of the eviction was completely fucking contemptible. And unfortunately, it's very much what I've seen in the last couple of weeks, right? It has to do with some sort of age inappropriate activities. Well, it turns out on June 15th of this year, there was a program through HUD, and the filing deadline was June 15th. When I saw this happen, I reported it, and in the course of reporting it, there was some other evidence that came up comparably. My concern is that what they were doing is that these guys, they had a year lease, and they talked about how they've been cut out a month early. They're like they've been evicted, but they had signed it. When they had signed it, they've been cut out a month early. In the early part of the year, I met another woman. She said something comparable happened. She had a lease. I think she said she had an 11th month lease. But after the 10th month, they just came in, they evicted her. And so at that time, she was evicted. This was around, I think, March, into February, early March, when I met with her. You know, this woman, she was really on top of things, right? So it's rarity, very rarity. I mean, she knew things about things that were going on. She happened to be a little older than me, maybe at least 10 years older than me. But she knew what was up. She knew what was going on. Well, if I'm correct, if Biden's going to meet with Abbas on July 15th, July 15th is the deadline when Congress is supposed to report back based on the president's budget priorities for the year, which he has to submit by April 15th. And then by August 15th, the White House has to respond to confirm whether or not they accept what Congress has proposed in response to the budget. But here's the thing. A lot of mortgages take 60 days to close. So are they going to finance whatever the 30-day clearing period for those HUD mortgages is in the West Bank? But today being day 28, somebody else has got their XCOM lined up so that in 2 days on the 15th, they get credit, which means that 1 year after FHA announced it was refinancing programs through FHA. That means that by August 15th, which is going to be the 1 year on that deadline, will they have completed some 1 year context wherein they get to justify the acceptance of the refi? So you've done that thing where you've staggered it. You got a certain group of people that are valued at one level, another group of people that are valued at another level. What happened on April 15th of 2020? On April 15th of 2020, April 15th, April 16th of 2020, Donald Trump was meeting with members of the National Petroleum Council, NPC. It wasn't the SPR. It was the NPC. Who's on the NPC? Who's on the National Petroleum Council? The National Petroleum Council has representatives from at least 50 different gas and oil or acid oil related companies. The people he was meeting with were board members for the NPC. And at that time, what did he say? He said, well, we're going to clear out the petroleum reserves and we're going to stock it with 100% American oil. That's not what they fucking did. If that's what they did, then these people would have gotten citizenship. They'd have their citizenship papers already lined up. I'd have my birth certificate, my driver's license. They wouldn't be trying to treat me like I'm an undocumented clandestino. No. What they did is they imported people. They harvested their energy on American soil. And then they want to say because it was what? Produced in America? It's American production. It's not American production. And by the way, they'd already done that with a whole bunch of other people, allegedly from another country that were spies, right? And in the meantime, you had those guys that got busted for the January 6th effort. By the way, nobody went after Mike Pence. Where's Mike Pence right now? Right? I mean, in Dallas, he's on the radio talking about the retirement system. Where's Mike Pence right now? Did you arrest those guys and allow for a year to be going by where their trials and all this shit that Congress is doing with these hearings were used to make white stock so you could whitewash the American production and then say you got a SPR filled with American production? Bullshit. Are you going to allow the people from the SNPC and whoever they hooked up with to launder all that dirty shit they did and all those illegal deals they had, including acts of securities fraud, through the FHA, in connection with that announcement last year that they were going to engage in refinancing, and then you're going to take a bunch of people who got evicted down here, and only goodness knows how many other people got evicted on June 15th of 2022. No. Let me ask this again. How many people had a full-term lease and then got evicted a month early or got evicted early on that lease? Because my theory is that they got evicted on June 15th in order to cash that shit out and allow for that to float for somebody else's credit to deliver, what, today? And then on the 15th, when those other people are going to be in the process of getting their mortgages confirmed going through HUD, or getting whatever they were trying to work on through HUD confirmed, they're going to be valued at Palestinian rate, right? But those old boys on the fucking NPC that wanted to hook up that shit in time for their fucking Christian Zionist stock to clear are going to get refied at what? What are they going to get refied at on August 15th of 2022? What are they going to fucking claim is theirs that they could correlate with that fucking Mexican automobile conference that hooks up with what? Well, when they're supposed to start drawing down the petroleum reserves. They're going to start drawing down the petroleum reserves 61 days after that deadline for HUD, but 31 days from when Biden is supposed to be in the West fucking Bank. I don't fucking think so, guys. I don't fucking think so. This has gone too fucking far.